sold for over 1 million times, and the blurb looked promising. It stated that reading this book will help me achieve my personal and professional goals. And isn't that something that we all want? So I went ahead and I ordered this book. So this book is written by Dr. Carol Dweck, who's a psychologist with the Stanford University. So Dr. Carol started her career wanting to understand how people coped up with failure. And to do this, she devised an experiment. And she gave a group of 10-year-olds some really tough math problems. And she saw something very interesting. So some students gave up because these problems were tough. But a few students were very happy to get these tough problems because they saw it as a challenge, as a learning experience. So this really fascinated Dr. Carol, and she wanted to understand this mindset where a failure could be turned into a gift. Over her research of 30 years, she understood that people think of themselves and the world around them in different ways. But that thinking can be broadly categorized in two ways. People who have a fixed mindset and people who have a growth mindset. People who have a fixed mindset were people like me when I couldn't clear my exam. They feel that basic human qualities like intelligence, personality, character traits are fixed and they cannot be changed significantly. Because they feel that traits like intelligence are fixed, they have this constant urge to prove themselves. They want to prove that what they have is adequate, and they see any sign of failure as a sign of not being enough. Same was my case when I couldn't clear that competitive exam. I did not see it as a learning experience. I questioned my abilities and my intelligence. People with growth mindset do just the opposite. They think that basic human qualities such as intelligence or personality are things that can be cultivated. They agree that all of us have different aptitudes, talents, interests, personalities, but they believe that everybody can change and grow if they put in effort, if they have experience, if they change strategies, and if they use the help of others. So I'm sure at this point, all of you are wondering, what mindset do you have? That's a very simple, you can, determine this or at least get an idea by asking yourself this very simple question. What is more important to me? Is proving to others that I am smart, or is looking smart more important? Or is asking myself or is learning more important for me? Ask this question and I'm sure you'll get a hint about the mindset that you possess. It is at this point, it is really important to note that people with growth mindset are more resilient too. One story from this book that always stayed with me was the story of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, yes, that's right, the famous basketball player. He was not considered to be a natural talent at basketball. At one point, he was even dropped out of his college. He was also dropped out of his college team. But did he give up? No, not at all. He worked hard on his weaknesses. He was perseverant and he maintained a growth mindset. And that's how he became a world famous basketball player. So I always question myself and I always tell myself this, that if Michael Jordan can do it, so can you. So at this point, I'm sure all of you must be thinking that, yeah, we've heard a lot of things about growth mindset, but how do we actually achieve the growth mindset? So this book tells you a very simple technique that you can use, and that technique has worked for me, and I'll share that technique with all of you too. So you have to ask yourself these two questions when you fail at something. The first question is that what can I learn from this experience? And the second question is that how can I put whatever I have learned to use, and how can I make it a base for further growth? I request all of you to please ask yourself this question in the next few days, and I'm sure you'll notice a significant shift in your mindset. Or trying to maintain a growth mindset has definitely made me more hopeful. It has even made me more confident about my ability and my ability to grow and progress further. It has also made learning a really joyful experience. I would like to end by saying this, that from our childhood we've been hearing this saying that a failure is a stepping stone to success, and reading this book has actually made me believe in that statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Asta. That was a very informative speech on the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Um, I believe that books are a primary source of knowledge, and people do not live forever, but books do. So that is where the legacy of the people continues. Thank you for that. So let's move on to our second speaker now, that is Toastmaster Fariha. And since the project is the same, I will not call upon the evaluator to read the project objectives. Um, okay, so can we have Toastmaster Fariha on Spotlight? Uh, can you please do your audio and video check?
Am I visible?
Yes, and you're audible as well.
I'm using two devices, one for audio and one for my camera. Is it fine?
Yeah, that's fine. We can hear you and see you.
Okay, just a second, please.
Is my timer screen visible?
Yes, your timer screen is visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Fariha, overthink or overcome? Overthink or overcome? Toastmaster Fariha.
Thank you. The past gives you an identity, and the future holds the promise of salvation, of fulfillment in whatever form. Quoted by Eckhart Tolle. Most respected Toastmasters and dear guests, I am Fariha and I wish you all a very good evening. I am here to present a speech on overthink or overcome. What is holding people back from the life that they truly wish to live? I would say that one very common and destructive thing is that people think too much. The past week had been a long and tough one. There was a lot going on, too much for the peace of my mind. As humans, all of us give a lot of credence to thought, which is why most of us fall prey to overthinking. Why do we spiral? Why do we find the need to second guess what is already going on? Why do we engage in overthinking? The answer is identification. We identify with the limiting thoughts in our head that make us run in circles because of lack or fear. We keep overthinking and worrying about things that will never happen, things that do not define us. Thinking things through can be a great strategy, of course, but being an overthinker can result in becoming someone who stands still in life. It can result in becoming someone who self sabotages all the good things that happen in life. When we are stuck in our thoughts, we tend to react to things rather than respond to them mindfully. We overthink all the positive things until they don't look so positive anymore. And we overanalyze and deconstruct things until the happiness that comes from just enjoying something in the moment disappears. When you're aware, your mind cannot make you run in circles, thinking about things that will never happen. Thinking makes us believe that we are alone and in danger. Thinking in its desire to understand, puts everything in a box, makes concepts and puts everything in a box. It restricts our mental ventilation. Reality, on the other hand, is unified. It's a place where we are all connected. Actual reality is far more extraordinary to be put in a box, in a mental prison of thoughts and concepts. Thinking so much increases our anxiety and our frustration. There are so many downsides to overthinking. You're less likely to take action. Overthinking creates so many options, choices, scenarios that you end up unable to make a decision. Too much thinking puts a cap on creativity. It takes a lot of mental energy to overthink, which makes your energy levels drop, your appetite changes, your sleeping schedule changes, and all of this takes a toll on your mental health extensively. Talking to a therapist or a friend or a loved one can also give you a fresh perspective and makes you realize that something that seems so terrifying and complex isn't so complicated after all. Mindfulness and meditation can also help, but that's going to require some practice. It will help you reset and declutter your mind. Sometimes we need to stop over analyzing. We need to stop analyzing the past. We need to stop predicting the future and stop trying to figure out precisely how we feel. Stop deciding with our mind what we want our hearts to feel. And sometimes we just have to go with whatever happens, happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faria. That was a highly relevant topic that you spoke on, and I can relate to that problem of overthinking and not being in the present. Okay, so since we only have two speakers, we will now move to the evaluation round. And just to reiterate the timing guidelines for the evaluation round, the evaluators are encouraged to speak for 2 to 3 minutes, and I will display the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. Also, please keep in mind to and follow the CRC method. Okay? And I'll just
Uh, Toastmaster Sanchit, before starting the evaluation round, can we get the timing report of the
yeah,
speakers?
okay.
Yeah.
So Toastmaster Astha took 7 minutes 6 seconds, and Toastmaster Faria took 4 minutes 19 seconds. So Fariha is disqualified and Astha is qualified. And since we only have one member who's qualified, we will not go for voting. There's just one winner for the best speaker. Okay, so I'll call upon the first evaluator now. So Toastmaster Anusha. Can we have Anusha on spotlight? Anusha, can you please do your audio and video check?
Sure. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'll just start the timer. Okay, I'll display the timer at the green card. You may begin now.
A very good evening to everyone present in today's meeting. What an honor it is to evaluate a speaker who speaks this confidently, and that too when she's at a very early stage of the Toastmaster journey. What I liked about your speech is your title, that is shaped by a book, which is very intriguing. Your speech must have reminded everyone of that one special book that has shaped somewhere in their life. What I also liked about your speech is that you show the book to us, which has shaped you, that is mindset, which attracts the audience attention. The other thing that I also like is about your speech structure, that you start with your life incident that you face, you of not clearing your exams, and what the emotions you face at that time, and how that book shaped, and then talk about that book, how it is related to you and shaped, and leave the audience with an exercise to implement that learnings, which is very which keeps the audience attentive throughout the speech, which is amazing. So kudos to that. Your expressions are very amazing, but what I recommend you that your expressions were not matching with your voice modulation. What you can do is, like, you can increase, or when you were talking about your struggle that you were facing at the hopeless and dejections, you could have like take a pause, and you could have low your tone, and then you can increase some dramatic effect, so that could have like give more speech more interesting. So that is one thing. Second thing I noticed that your hand gestures in the starting for of the, like in starting 2 3 minutes, your hand you like your hand was not moving at all, like yours was stiff, but like in the middle you were using it properly, so it was not like constantly proper throughout. So these are the two main recommendations that I would want to recommend it to you. So I when otherwise your expressions, your speech structure, and your confidence were amazing. With these two recommendations, I am sure that you will go great in the next speech. So all the best for your next, and thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanjay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anusha, for your observations. Now I'll call upon the next evaluator, Toastmaster Sunidhi. Sunidhi, can we have her on spotlight? Okay. Sunidhi, can you do your audio video check?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, and you're visible.
Okay.
Okay, can you see the timer cards?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing my screen now and you may begin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanchit. So, our speaker today's Toastmaster Fariha Sheikh gave her L1P2, and Toastmaster Fariha, I would like to say congratulations on that. Your attempt to give L1P2 was successful. It was a good start. You started your speech with a question to the audience. When a speaker starts his speech with a question, the audience is instantly hooked to the speaker. And not just the start, the speaker kept on throwing multiple questions at the audience, which kept us always questioning ourselves and ability to overthink, of course. So, a good start. Toastmaster Fariha, you have a very good use of gestures and at the right time, which is very good while delivering a speech. You have a beautiful way to use voice modulation while delivering your speech. Voice modulation always helps the speech to break the monotony, and you did a great job with that. Speaker spoke very confidently and firmly. When you are delivering a speech which is informative and which talks about some concept, it is always important to speak confidently as it shows the speaker itself is comfortable and confident with his own content. So it's much more easier for the audience to engage and to feel that trust in the content that the speaker is delivering. Well, for your project to level 1, you were a great speaker, and I must actually congratulate you for your attempt, even if you have not qualified. But there are some things that you could maybe work upon, that is the structure. So, Speaker Fariha, I wished if you started your speech maybe with your personal story, as the speech was heavy on content, maybe a small personal story to start with could have been a good start and could have connected us why you are giving this speech on overthinking. Secondly, you had a good introduction, but maybe you could have had more structured way of having a background, then introduction, then some body, and then a strong conclusion. As you had some more time for you to deliver your speech, you could have added a strong conclusion on overthinking and how we could overcome it. So, in all, great attempt, and I'm sure if you imply these feedback, you will definitely be a better speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanchit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunidhi. I'll provide my timing report now for the evaluations. So Toastmaster Anusha took 2 minutes 30 seconds and Toastmaster Sunidhi took 3 minutes 17 seconds. Both are qualified. And um, Anushka, can we have the polls now for the best evaluator? Yeah. So please vote for the best evaluator. No, we won't have the polls for the best speaker since there's only one speaker who's qualified. So can we have the second one? Yes, thank you. Are we done with the polls? Anushka, are we done with the polls?
Yes, yes, the polls are done. I'm sorry, I was.
Okay. Um, so till we have the certificates ready, I'll just make a few more comments. I know the evaluators have already done that, but Astha and Fariha, as a speaker, your strengths are you are very confident and you have very strong content in your speech. Both of you have very strong content in your speech. I think what you need to work on more is your delivery. So like Astha, you could benefit by working more on your gestures and maybe moving a little bit. You had that area, the stage area, so you could have utilized that a bit more. And Fariha, you can work a little bit more on your vocal variety. So you had very strong lines in your speech, but it needs to be delivered with impact. So to make it more impactful, maybe you could just incorporate a bit more vocal variety. So these are just a few points. Also, the structure was pretty good. This was just your second speech, but you had a proper introduction, beginning, and conclusion. Since they are both aiming for the international speech contest, if there's anyone else also who wants to provide some feedback, they can do so. No one. Okay.
I would want to, but I'll refer the video on YouTube and then contact each of them.
Oh, Adriana, hi.
Hi. I'm so sorry, guys. I couldn't. I got a client call and then it went on, and I'm sorry I joined in late. But yeah, I would really, since I believe this is being streamed live, right? Huh. So I'll definitely see the YouTube video and I'll connect with each of them.
Okay. And I think there was a bit of miscommunication because Faria thought this was a 4 to 6 minute speech. But after the icebreaker, most of the speeches are 5 to 7 minute speeches, and even the speech that you will have to deliver in the international speech contest will be a 5 to 7 minute speech. So please keep that in mind, and just practice a few times before you give your speech. And you have 7 minutes plus 30 seconds grace period, so you can even go a little beyond 7 minutes. That's fine. Okay, so Anushka, are the certificates ready?
Yes, yes, they are ready.
So the best evaluator is Toastmaster Anusha Gupta. Congratulations, Anusha.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the best speaker. So the best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Astha, as she was the only qualified
Thank
speaker.
you.
Congratulations, Astha. Okay. So just a few more points to note. Astha and Fariha, you will give your evaluations on Sunday, and then you'll have to also give a speech next Wednesday. So you'll have to start preparing for that. I know it's we're having 2 meetings every week now, but you have to start preparing for that. And so to adjourn the meeting, I think we are done now. So to adjourn the meeting, I'll hand over to our presiding officer since she's here, Adriana.
Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Nonetheless, I'm so sorry I couldn't attend it. But having said that, I still appreciate the spirit of each one of us. Okay, not us, not me, but every one of y'all who attended, even if it was a half an hour slot on a weekday after office hours. I love the emoji. Please tell me, how did you do it? To Sunidhi. Okay, and yeah, and kudos. Please reach out to anyone. Fariha, in case you want to. I'm a mentor to Anushka as well, even if I'm not her direct mentor. So it's absolutely fine. You can reach out to me anytime for anything you need, and we can work on topics as well for your, forthcoming projects. Thank you so much, evaluators. Thank you so much, Sunidhi, for stepping up as always and helping our club. And yeah, go on, go on.
Thanks, Ed, and pleasure is mine to always visit AOTM.
Thank you so much. We should really conduct a joint meeting. I'll see. I'll talk to Sanjay.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should. We
Lawrence.
should.
Exactly. We should probably do it. I think when
Sanchit, you
you're having
should
your
pitch in.
competitions, when are you having? So we can probably select a date after that.
I'm not sure about that actually. Lawrence will know this.
Okay, we can do it probably once the competitions get over. We can have one.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
sure.
I'm not going to spend more time on your otherwise already weekday, and probably dinner's ready. So I adjourn the speech marathon for today, and let's connect again next Wednesday for the same.
Yeah,
Thank you so
let's
much,
have a group
everyone.
pick. Let's have a group pick before everyone leaves.
Okay, anyone who can. I'm on my phone, so I don't know how I'll be able to take the gallery view, but yeah.
Okay, but we need the videos on.
Everyone
I'm
can.
gonna exit if you're gonna push me now. We'll just post a picture of me out there.
Rohit, are you switching on your video? I think he's not here.
Rohit's here.
Yes, taken.
Okay, guys, I think the picture is taken, right, Sanchit?
Oh, I think Anushka did that. Anushka, are we done?
Yes, yes. The picture.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
okay, perfect. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
And let's connect again next Wednesday. Thank you.
Before that, we
Oh,
also have the moments of truth and meeting on this Sunday, so
oh
please
yeah.
be there as well. And I hope you all have submitted the form. because
Yes.
we will need that to conduct the MOT session. We need a minimum number of members to submit that evaluation to get a proper feedback for our club. So
Yeah.
thank you. I think you all have done it. So thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Much faster response than expected.
Exactly, much faster responses compared to last time. I was behind Sunita. I was like, Sunita, our club is slower a bit. Please do give us more time to fill the form. She was like, oh, is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're doing well. Okay, I'm not gonna keep everyone waiting. So thank you. Have a good night. And yeah, bye.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so
Bye
much.
all.
Sanchit, could you stay
See you on
Bye.
back
Sunday.
for a bit? Sanchit, could
Sorry.
you stay back? Could you stay back for a bit?
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Shall I leave making one of you the host?
Yeah, sure. You can make anyone.
Please switch off the streaming.
Oh, right.